Finally, the Steelers get to hit somebody else besides other Steelers. First preseason game this weekend, this Sunday, versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, who it seems we always play in the preseason. At least when I played, every year we seem to either be in Jacksonville or Jacksonville used to come up to us. But obviously, a big test. I know guys are tired of hitting each other in camp, but this is the first litmus test for a lot of rookies on this team. The vets are entrenched. A lot of vets aren't going to play this weekend. We probably won't see TJ. We probably won't see Aaron. We probably won't see Cam. But there are plenty of battles to be hashed out this weekend. Give me two position groups that you're looking at, and give me two players within those position groups that you want to see perform in a big way this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking at obviously a running back group that we're talking about. I want to see if Caleb Johnson is ready to take that next step, which he looks every bit of in practice. Now we just need to confirm that in the regular or in the preseason games here. So running back group is somewhere I'm looking at. Offensive line. I mean, I want to see Mason McCormick. I want to see him jump from year one to year two to secure that starting job up front. And those are things that we're talking about. We mentioned before. And I'll give you three. My third one is the receiver group. I want to see one of those guys because we don't know how much DK Metcalf is going to play in this preseason. I don't expect to see him at all in this game here. But again, Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, I know he was, dealing with some issues there. Will he be healthy enough to play in this preseason game? And if he's not, let's see Robert Woods. He is a veteran guy. We know he can play, but can he do it in this system? So we want to see what he's able to bring to the equation. And Roman Wilson, he will be the featured guy out there to see if this is, for him to be able to now get an expedited learning curve by missing all of last year to what we're seeing here now. So that's the 2-3 position groups that I'm focusing on. And this is the only reason why I want to see at least Aaron Rodgers in the game. I don't care if it's just a 3 and out, just to get the mechanics with your new guys. Get the play in that huddle. I don't care if he has 3 runs that he's going to hand it off. It's just the mechanics getting used to his new group up front. That's why I would only selfishly want to see him for 3 plays.
Well, with some of the snap issues that we've had in camp too, it'll be good for him to develop that game time rapport with Zach Frazier. And continuing on the O-line, I think there is no position group that needs this game more than that group. I know we hinted at Madden ratings earlier, but Madden knows as well as we do, there's a lot of unproven talent on that offensive line. And we go across the board. At left tackle, Broderick came in at a 72 on Madden.
Wow.
Isaac, an 80. Zach, our highest rated offensive lineman, rightfully so, with the film he put out last year, was at 84. Mason, who you mentioned, you want to see how he steps up into the second year. And I agree with you. He's a 74. And then Troy was a 77, having only played one true game last year before getting hurt. And so this offensive line group as a whole, I would imagine would play the whole first half, if not a little bit more into the second half. I know Coach Meyer has to see these guys, how they mesh. We have a starting line in pencil, but there are some guys I think in a Dylan Cook or my number 6, Stephen Jones at 79, who have something to say about perhaps making a push to start. There aren't anybody that would say is entrenched at their starting position up front, outside of maybe Isaac and Zach at left guard and center. Other than that, I think there hasn't been enough proven at the right tackle position for Troy to say that it's his, or the right guard position to say that it's Mason, or at left tackle, even with his pedigree being a first-round draft pick, and Broderick Jones, who I think needs this more than anybody. There's a lot being said in social media, a lot being said in the media in general about how 77, Broderick Jones, is going to do versus some competition. He hasn't had the greatest start of camp, if we're just keeping it real. He's missed some time, and when he's been out there, there's been some technique issues. So this is a huge game for number 77, but the whole O-line as a whole has to go up there and protect Aaron Rodgers if he's out there for a few plays, Mason, Skylar Thompson, and Will Howard. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the O-line does.
And, they talk about potential, which they all have. And now they just have to prove it. And the thing, if you want to be good at offensive line, all of those guys have to play together. You're talking about practicing together, and obviously that's continuing here throughout the preseason. And those guys, there is an upside to them. I'm excited to see what they bring to the equation. And you just have to go out there and continue to prove it. When you have 2 first rounders on the outside and your tackle positions, they have to step up. They have
Right.
to be able to dominate. They have to be able to protect. And that's just something that we're all going to pay attention to as that offensive line is kind of gelling to what we're hoping they become.
Exactly. And as I was at practice this weekend, I wanted to see something. Now, with guys being young and guys not having chemistry, they haven't quite found their voice, especially in regards to a veteran-laden team as we have on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm looking to see who's going to be that leader up front. Is Zach going to come up and being more boisterous and letting guys know where they're supposed to be? Is he going to be that guy that get after it and get into a defense lineman grill and start a fight? I want to see that. One of the things that I did like seeing was Zach taking some leadership during practice. When the first team was off, I saw him running sprints behind the team period just as another way to get in condition. And that's, I thought, was a big step on him. Him being a second year, him leading that charge, getting the guys in shape. That's a good step in the right direction. Now, it's going to be a whole different ball game when they get together and play this weekend. I want to see who's going to step up, who's going to be the guy who's going to be like Marquise Pouncey, running 20 yards downfield to make that block. That was his calling card, right? We need to see that from somebody on offensive line. We need somebody going to pick up the running back at every single play. They used to annoy me to no end. And usually that happens when you don't have a lot of confidence. You're so busy about what you're trying to do as an offensive lineman, so busy about your assignment that you're starting to worry about some of the team aspect. You're not out there playing. You're not out there having fun, running around playing football like we like the game we love growing up. And so that's the things I want to see. Those are the things that are going to tell me that the offensive lineman is out there. They know what they're doing. They have confidence in what they're doing, and they want to get after it. So I'm looking forward to this weekend. Looking forward to this Saturday.
And the one thing that I will be paying attention to, because we did have some snap issues that were happening throughout training camp. Now, when you add the weather, the humidity in Jacksonville, that could potentially be there. There's going to be a little moisture on the football. Let's see how that translates. Hopefully they fix that problem as they hit into it. But that's just something hidden that I'm going to be paying attention to because of the issues that we've seen through camp thus far.
Right. Now, we concentrate all this preview talk about the offensive side of the ball. There are some things on the defensive side of the ball that need to be hashed out. How's that secondary going to mesh? We may not see everybody in the secondary, but who are some young guys back there behind the front 4 or 5 that you're looking to see step up this weekend versus Jacksonville?
Yeah, there's a cluster in there, to be honest with you. All of them, all the focus is on Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., those guys that we're seeing there. And I think when you see everything that's happening, inside, I'm trying to think like who can step up. Beanie, can Beanie step up?
Yeah.
Even though we know what he's capable of bringing to the equation, but again, they want to see him continue to prove it right now to see if he's ready to take that next step. Based off what I saw at this particular point? Yes, absolutely. And he's just waiting his chance to get back into that starting group because again, he was running with that last year, but now that's removed and taken away from him. But again, injuries can happen. I don't want to wish injury on anybody, but you have to be ready at the moment's notice if something was to happen to be able to step in and go out there and deliver.
What's the word on Corey Trice? I know he got banged up a little bit. Does it look like he's going to get some? I know he's somebody that has some injury issues, but somebody that the coaching staff was very high on from 2 years ago.
Yeah, they are. And I think, they're looking at him. And, we will get the injury report the closer we get to the game as it relates to who's available. And if all players are available, they'll play if you're not the superstar in that particular manner. So everybody should be prepared to play in that manner. We don't know if we're going to see Dante Kent, the rookie out of Central Michigan. But it's a Central or Western. I think it was Central Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Central Michigan. You're right. That's our foe. Eastern Michigan's rival over there. How can I forget that one? Right. So we don't know if he's going to be available. We don't know if Corey Trice is going to be available. So these are things that ultimately, as the injury report happens, we're going to see and get that announcement. I probably would think maybe Thursday-ish, Friday, when that announcement is made as it relates to who's going to be available. But if all bodies are going to play, they all need to go out there and step up because 1, 2, and 3 at the cornerback positions are already solidified. What can you do at this particular point? Because, we didn't mention Darius Slay, but he's a guy that is on that defensive side that he's part of that 3-man rotation that's going to be out there. If you're looking to make a splash, It may not come in the secondary. You better make it another way. You better go out there and make it on special teams play and catch the eye and the attention of Coach Tomlin.
Exactly. And two guys that I think these are also huge camps for and huge games for. I want to see what Mark Robinson does. He's had a good start to camp. His skill set, he has a superpower. He loves to hit. He has been one of the guys that has kind of singled himself out as one of the harder hitters on the team. But how will that translate on game day? Will he read his assignments correctly? Will he be able to fit correctly? You can pop a guy all you want to, but are you popping him for a 2-yard gain, or are you doing it at 15 yards downfield because you're not doing what you're supposed to do? Another one that's been injured, DeMarvin Leal. Did I say that correctly?
Leal.
Somebody that the coaching staff is really high on. Very versatile guy. He's been able to play inside and out, but also somebody that's been hurt. So looking forward to see from Mark Robinson and Leal what they can do this weekend as well.
And another name to throw in there, Isaiah Loudermilk. This is a guy who's been in this defense for a while. They want to see him take that next step. Even though you have those two young guys in there who could be part of this rotation, he's going to have many opportunities throughout. He is a huge guy as well, and they want to see him now take that next step. So I'm looking at Isaiah in the front seven, and to your point, Mark Robinson. He's been around enough to know he is stout in the run game, but he needs to get better in the passing. They want to see him prove it and do it more consistently than what he's doing now. He's looked good thus far. Now they just want to see it translate into the games.